hunger index was declared at 105 out of 127 countries. And simultaneously, India's food waste has crossed 78 million tons. That is 7 plus 10 zeros behind it. So, if our hunger index is 105 and this hunger index has been above 100 for the last 4-5 years, it's not coming below 100. Now, if a hunger index is so high and India is throwing out so much of food, then there is something missing between the lines. So there is only one alternative to reduce the hunger index and to reduce the wet waste, and that is food banks, which we run at street Providence. So there are many channels where food comes or where food can be saved. One is factories which have canteen food. One is bakeries, hotels, restaurants, caterers, private residencies. There are different channels. Overall in Goa, about 15,000 kilos of food is daily thrown out. Now, we cannot manage all this by ourselves. So, last 6 months, we have approached 9 factories in Verna. That starts with Comscope, it goes up to IFB, Microlabs, Marksons, Cipla, Siemens, Sanofi, Teva, and Lupin. These 9 factories in Verna for the last 6 months have been contributing food to us, and from these factories, these 9 factories alone, we collected 34 tons, that is 34,000 kilos. Now, if this food was not collected, it would have gone to the waste. We also have factories in Hyundai where we got another 6 tons. So about 40 tons we have collected from only factories in the last 6 months, which is a huge quantity. Now basically, the Honorable Chief Minister of Goa, along with the Solid Waste Management Minister, should understand that garbage plants run at a cost. That is, there's the collection cost of the garbage, there's the transportation cost, and the cost of running the plants. We cannot bring down that garbage waste overnight. But if we have to bring down the food index, India's hunger index, we can definitely use this model if the state government, under the guidance of Honorable Chief Minister Pramod Sawant, takes it seriously. It can be a model to implement across India. We may not be able to bring it down much, but it will be a start, because this 70,000 or 75 million tons of wet waste includes food, vegetables, fruits, grains, pulses, dairy products, and FMCG products like biscuits, this dry items, which is just wasted. Our view was to create an awareness, as our first focus is on 100 odd factories in Goa which have employees of more than 500 and above. Any company having 500 employees and above is 100% throwing out 30 to 40 kilos of food daily, and this food is paid to the canteen contractor by the company. So you can imagine what is the cost of food they are throwing out every day after paying for it. There will be views of food poisoning, which we have a stamp paper agreement which absorbs the company of any untoward incident. And as a registered food bank, last 7 years we have had no food poisoning. We understand how food poisoning works. It's usually played tricks by certain people just to create uneasiness. So when we are feeding 1500 people daily across Goa, all 1500 people should have food poisoning. If one person or two persons come with a complaint, means somebody is instigating trouble, which is okay. That is the FSSI's duty to verify the food poisoning. China also throws out as much food as India throws out, but here we are having people who are hungry, we are having people who can eat this food, and we are having people who will want to accept this food. So if our model is accepted, if our model wants to be further investigated, if anybody would like to come out and see one day, how our frozen truck is collecting food across the factories and where the food is going, we are ready to take anybody and everybody along. It's a program we run from 2:30 to 4:30 every day in Verna Industrial Estate, and we feel that we can save minimum 3,000 kilos every day only in Verna Industrial Estate by collecting food from all the factories which are giving the food back to the canteen contractor who throws it out. Basically, why we are insisting on factory food? Because factory food is fresh, factory food is hygienically cooked, it does not have vinegar, so it is fresh, you cannot keep it for the next day, it is not recycled, it is not reheated, retaken out, re-put. Second thing, factories, what they do, they pay their to dispose of their biomedical waste, to dispose of their hazard waste, to dispose of their chemical waste. They pay the people to take their waste. Whereas food, what they do, they tell the canteen contractor, you take it and throw it out. Now, in a factory which is so beautifully designed, cleanliness, spick and span, they have good visions, good views, good motives, goals. Their directors, their promoters have good ideas. I have not seen, except Lupin, I have not seen anybody having a view how to save the environment because of food. Now, if your food is going to a garbage bin and is going to a plant, and we in Goa are complaining that our garbage is going up, then the factories first need to come out and say, okay, we can contribute to reduce the wet waste in Goa by giving the food to food bank, for which we have a program, we have a proposal, and we have a system how this food is collected. This program was put together by the Secretary of Factory and Boilers, Mr. Sir Sanjit Rodriguez, along with the Chief Inspectorate of Factories and Boilers, Sir Anand Pangam. So if there are any factories, we know there are more than 60 odd factories still in Verna who have not joined our program. They should use serious thoughts. The top level management should use serious thoughts, because you are in a state, you are having your food going to a garbage. There is an alternative way to reduce the garbage. You should take some responsibility, moral responsibility as a human being, that yes, there is an alternative. We can join this program and we are ready to feed the poor. See, basically the shelter homes what we run are free shelter homes. Now we have to feed also people in the shelter homes. Now, we have been running the food bank from 2017, and that's how the shelter homes came into existence. So some part of this food also goes to our shelter homes. Now there are so many old age homes, orphanages in Goa whose food cost is rising because nothing is coming down in the world today. And with the war now in Iran and Israel, if the petrol just goes up by 10 rupees, it will have an escalating effect on the prices of food. For us, it is manageable because we are getting food. We are not getting all the food, but since we are collecting food, we can also increase our beds. We can also take in more people who don't have food.
So today, what's your program here?
Our message to the Honorable Chief Minister here of Goa, and along with that to the Solid Waste Management Minister, is kindly hear this message of ours. We can save food, we can reduce the wet waste, and the country can use this model and bring our global hunger index down, which is at 105. See, we say we are a 5 trillion economy. We are number 3 or 4 in the world, which I agree. It's a good country. Country is prospering. The stock market is up. But there are hungry people going to sleep, and they need to be also considered.